What about the story about Dave and Randy?
Okay, so I am, my son, Matthew, is being christening. So I took some time off and I decided to go to New York to do the christening. We're all riding together. I'm like, Dad, I'm trying to keep everybody in line. Think about it. Maven, Randy Orton at his wildness, Batista, Dawn Marie, and there was one other person. I think it might have been Ray at the time, Ray Mysterio. I'm not sure. But I remember right before the week I was supposed to leave, I looked at all of them. I said, guys, I'm not scolding you like I'm your dad. I said, but I'm asking you, please, do not get in trouble. Do not do anything that you know that you wouldn't do if I wasn't here. And they were like, no, Devon, we're going to be good. We're good. Because I felt like I was responsible for them. And it was like I felt the company I was driving with them, so I was responsible. And so I just remember, I go, okay, guys, so we're seeing each other off because it's the last day of the tour. We get up in the morning, we ride to the airport together. I said, okay, guys, I'll call you during the week. I was like, please stay out of trouble. And Randy was like, no problem. Randy being Randy, no problem. And I was just like, oh God. I said, this is not good. So I leave. I get a phone call. I'm at the christening. I get a phone call from Dawn Marie, frantic. She's like, Devon, when are you coming back? I go, Dawn, what's the matter? She goes, Randy, Dave knocked out Randy. I go, what? He goes, yeah, they were in. I said, what do you mean he knocked him out? They were in the ring and Randy pissed Dave off. And Dave clotheslined the hell out of him. I was like, where's Dave? I said, please put Dave on the phone. I said, Dave, what the hell happened? He goes, Rev, because he never called me Devon. He would always call me Rev because of the Reverend Devon.
Yeah.
He was like, Rev. He was like, he kept paintbrushing me in the back of the head. I go, what do you mean he was paintbrushing you? You know how Scott Hall does the paintbrush? I was like, yeah. He was like, well, he kept doing that to me. And I told him to stop and he wouldn't stop. So I whipped him off and gave him a clothesline. I said, Dave, how hard was the clothesline? He goes, well, he flipped inside out, but he got a concussion. I said, Dave, why would you do that? He was like, Rev, he wouldn't stop. I was like, come on, guys. I asked you guys to just be nice until I get back. I was like, and you guys couldn't do that. He's like, Rev, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, how is Randy? He goes, I don't know. He's got a concussion. I haven't seen him. I said, oh, damn. I remember speaking to Randy the next day. I said, Randy, are you all right? He goes, yeah, I'm fine, Devon. I'm fine. I'm tough. I can't. I was like, okay, how's the concussion? He goes, I ain't worried about that. This was when Randy was at his crazy stage. I'm not worried about that concussion. I was like, Randy, you should worry about it because now you probably can't get in the ring for another week or two. He was like, that's okay. I look at it as a vacation. I go, oh, God. He goes, maybe I'll ask Dave to do it again. I was like, Randy, please don't do that. I said, please stop while you're ahead. He was like, Devon, don't worry about it. We have fun. You should take off more often. I go, no. We won't have a crew if I do that.